Hi everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. This is one of the most highly anticipated mid-size trucks for the 2023 model year. It's the 2023 Chevrolet Colorado. And while these trucks still start out at a very modest around $26,000, this particular model will start at about $46,000. So they can get into the $50,000 range, but I tell you what, you're definitely getting a lot for what you pay for. So we're going to take a look at exactly what is new with this truck, with the Chevrolet Colorado for 2023, and maybe help you to make a decision on if this is the truck you want to buy. One thing I wanted to start off and show you is something very interesting here with the tailgate. Depending on your situation, you may or may not need this. Let's close this. We're going to get to that in just a minute and talk about what's there and what's going to be there. But you'll notice the position of the tailgate right now. That's very easy to deal with. In fact, let's see, I might be talented enough to do this one-handed. There we go. We can bring it down into its traditional place. But depending on what you're working with, you can actually mount different things up here and have them sit flush. Because here's the thing, unlike one of the competitors, the Honda Ridgeline, you do have, while they're not as large as what you would have in a full-size truck, but they're still pretty big. The fender well is right there, so that's where you can actually put different things, sheets of plywood and whatever, in that area. Now, I don't think I'm talented enough to put that back in place one-handed, but you saw how it was put in there. It's very easy to do. In fact, I'll tell you what, let's see how talented I am one-handed. Let's see here. I'm getting close. Oh, there we go. I actually was able to pull it off. I don't believe it. I should get a YouTube reward for that. But you can now see where that works. And see, it's even with this area right here, so kind of hard to tell. But that's not all that I wanted to show you back here. So let's do that one-handed talent stuff one more time. And I want to show you something right here that you may or may not be aware of. This area right here is actually watertight. You do have a drain plug right here. And so you can use that in a multitude of ways. And you might say, what is that for, Tom? That is for something to come. I can't get a pure answer, a full-on answer exactly what that is, but something that's going to screw in there. Maybe you can put a flag in there or something like that. I don't really know, but something's going to thread down in there, but Chevrolet hasn't made that known just yet. Now, some of you might know. Someone might joke around in the comments section and say what it's going to be. Don't take their word for it, because they may be kidding. And depending on the version that you buy, you may or may not have the corner steps on the truck. So depending on if you like to have that bumper step or the corner step as it's called, well, that can help. And it's not that it's that hard to get into the bed of this truck, but it is big enough to where, yeah, that can come in rather handy. Quite a few tie downs. You're going to have, obviously, the bed liner that can be here, the optional cover right there that's going to be very simple to use. And here under the hood is the 2.7 liter high output 4-cylinder. And depending on the trim level that you have, you're looking at 237 horsepower and 259 pound-feet of torque, or you can have as much as 310 horsepower. Definitely going to get the job done for a mid-size truck. So depending on what you go with, if you have the 237 horsepower, 259 pounds-feet of torque, here are your towing numbers. You're looking at 3,500 pounds of towing capacity, but if you go with the higher engine option, the higher power tune-up, so to speak, that's going to be 310 horsepower and 390 pounds-feet of torque. That's going to jump all the way up to an impressive 7,700 pounds. And payload is going to vary a little bit depending on what you have. WT and LT is going to be 1,684 pounds, but if you go to the Trail Boss or the Z71, that number is going to drop to 1,587 pounds. So let's take a look into the interior and see what we can discover there. As far as differences in size go, you're still going to have the child safety locks you're going to activate and deactivate right here. In fact, it's a good thing I didn't hop in and close this door, because with that position where that button is right there, it's deactivated now. When it's like this, it's activated. And a lot of vehicles don't have that on the rear doors. The child safety locks are on the rear doors, but you activate them on the driver's side door panel. I could have been stuck in here, but there's plenty of people to let me out if need be. So we have quite a bit of space back here. Let's see what happens when I hop in. I do have my backpack on, so I'm going to be sitting a little bit further forward than I would be. These seats are way back, but I have a lot of space here. The floor is relatively flat. You don't have a huge protruding transmission tunnel right there. And then we're going to have our dual air conditioning vents. Let's see, I can't really see what's down here because there's not anything, surprisingly. No connectivity. Now that's on this particular truck, but you can see that we do have the sliding window here, and I believe it's a manual window. It is, it's not power, but not a big deal necessarily. But I tell you what, the biggest changes you're going to see in the interior are going to come in the front seat. Let's take a look at a little closer look, I should say, at what you can find. Now, I do want to show the door bins back here. You can see you can put a nice large bottle in there. They're not enormous. They're not like the Silverado 1500s, but this isn't a full-size truck. But you do have the larger door bin, kind of an upper door bin right here, and a larger lower door bin here. Put the bottles in there, all that good stuff. Here is the Colorado logo on the door sill, and a quick look into the front seat area. In fact, let's hop in here because one of the main things I wanted to show you is this nice 11.3-inch touchscreen. And you can see a little bit of what we have here. It's probably going to be hard to show too much. Well, I take that back. Actually, I can show a lot. It looks very modern, very nice. You can see the different options that are here. Boy, there is a lot here. I'll tell you what, Chevrolet has done a very nice job with how everything is set up. Navigation is built in, which I know a lot of you tend to ask about that. So now you know that it's here among so many other features. Now, as of right now, obviously I can't get you out on a test drive, but I think we're going to have one of these coming in pretty soon to Red River Chevrolet over in Bossier City, Louisiana, where I normally shoot these videos, so we can take one out on the road. It does have an 8-speed automatic transmission. I don't think I mentioned that earlier, but you do have the traditional style shifter there. That's good. No push button shifter or anything like that, so that's good. Got some connectivity here. Your cup holders, a little bit of gloss black. And we're going to have the multitasking lid for the center console right there. Why? Because it's a lid and it's an armrest. But ultimately, those are the changes that you're going to find on the 2023 version of the Chevrolet Colorado. Has Chevrolet made the right changes? Tell me what you think down in the comments section. So I have to say a special thanks to all of you for giving me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. Tell me what you think about these changes to these trucks, such as the Colorado. If you'd like to learn about another vehicle you may wish to consider purchasing and researching, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.